All right, good Sunday afternoon, everyone. A little bit of a crazy afternoon so far here at News Channel 10 here in the Texas Panhandle. There was a tornado warning earlier and reported funnel clouds as of right now. So the tornado warning has been expired. It has canceled. There is no active tornado threat right now in Amarillo. What we are seeing currently, though, is a cluster of thunderstorms. We're seeing a very heavy thunderstorm working its way through Canyon right now, and just off towards the east of town, there is currently a flash flood warning in effect for the next 2.5 hours down around Lake Tanglewood. Now, what we are seeing right here is a severe thunderstorm warning for kind of northern and kind of eastern Potter County right now. This is it expires in about 16 minutes. Right now, they're calling for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. We're working with Tanner Brammer. We're going to be getting on air here in just a moment. He's getting ready for that. So you'll be seeing a TV cut in here in just a moment. But our main focus right now is we want you to know the tornado warning has been expired. Not currently an active tornado threat here in the city of Amarillo or any part of the Texas Panhandle as of right now. So that is the good news. There was some reported funnel clouds from this system, but as it sits right now, no active tornado warnings in our area currently. So that is the good news here as we get going here. We're going to be monitoring our comments. We're going to be answering any questions we might have. Listening for our friends up in Master Control, hopefully be getting that TV cut in here for you pretty soon. But right now what we do have is just a cluster of storms in the central, northeastern sides of the area. We have flash flood warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for this portion of the area. That's over Clarendon, Panhandle, down to Amarillo. Flash flood warnings in effect. We saw some very heavy bands of rain going down I-27 from Canyon to Amarillo. Very limited visibility. What we're going to do right now is we're going to cycle through some of our sky tracker cameras, let you know what we are seeing outside. There is that stronger storm kind of looking off towards the southeast from downtown Amarillo currently. As you can see, pretty robust storm development. Overall, nothing just too extreme. Like I said, this is a severe thunderstorm warning rated for 60-mile-an-hour winds and possibly some quarter-sized hail. So monitoring that very closely. There's a look from Lake Meredith. Pretty eerie-looking storms without a doubt. Like I said, we did see reports of a funnel cloud from this system, but no confirmed tornado touchdown. So that is the very good news right now. Like I said, our main thing right now, what we're talking about, is no tornado warnings in effect right now. There was one earlier for a reported funnel cloud. Have not seen any images of it right now, but there was a reported funnel cloud. That tornado warning has been expired. We got Deanne here reporting that there were some sirens going off in southwest Amarillo. Let's take a look here, see what else is saying here in the chats. All right. Yeah, so sirens going off there in the southern ends of the area. Are we getting pretty close to our cut in here?
Yeah, they're about to put me on.
Okay, here we go. We're going to let Tanner get ready, and we'll be on in just a moment, so y'all get ready for that. We're going to go on standby just a moment.
Waiting for a cue from Dylan. Well, good afternoon. Tanner Brammer here. There was a tornado warning issued for Amarillo about maybe 30 minutes ago that has since expired. Good news is there has been no confirmed touchdowns of any tornado. Maybe still seeing some reports on damage, but no touchdowns of the tornado. It has since expired. Still seeing a severe thunderstorm warning clipping the northeast portion of Amarillo and a flash flood warning as well. We're going to continue to keep an eye on things as storms are a bit robust as of right now, so we'll cut into your commercial breaks throughout the rest of the afternoon into the evening and then cut in during the programming if anything urgent comes up. But for now, you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe.
There, how about now? I got to remember to unmute my mic. That's the key to it. So, should be able to hear me now. Okay, anyways, what I was saying is we're going to start to roll around radar here, take a look at what we're seeing. Latest word from the National Weather Service, nothing really too extreme right there. We're not seeing any new tornado warnings expected to come out, but what we're going to do is we're going to run through radar here, take a look at what we're watching here at the News Channel 10 station, what we're seeing right now. So this line of thunderstorms, I actually drove through this earlier. This is kind of moving south out of Amarillo. We're going to animate this here, show where it's been progressing through. You can see it develop there on an outflow boundary. Very heavy rains seen there in Canyon as of right now, south of Lake Tanglewood, south of Amarillo as a whole, but we are seeing some showers building in. The general storm motion here is very unusual compared to what we have been seeing. You're going to notice things are really very stationary. If anything, they're moving to the west-southwest, which is not something we really see all that often here in Amarillo. Did hear a report of a funnel cloud, is that correct? We did have a reported funnel with this one. I have not seen an image of it just yet, but as soon as we see that, we'll try to pass that along.
Right near the airport.
So right over near the airport, so almost the exact same area that saw that tornado warning yesterday evening. So very bizarre storm motion, very bizarre storm setup with these systems out here. All right, so it should be good there. All right, looks like, is the audio still out? Is that?
We're getting...
Here, we'll see what Kyle has. I'm getting bars registering right here. I had my mic muted at first. Sorry, we're doing a little bit of live technical troubleshooting right here. Should be good now. I'm getting bars registering, at least on my screen in OBS. Let's see if that carries over. We can hear you now. There we go. Carrie Carter with the report. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help there. Just making sure we got it all fixed. But these are very bizarre storm structures here. Not a typical tornadic type setup. What we're probably seeing here is a lot of what we call boundaries, which is just a bunch of, like I said, kind of what they sound like. They're boundaries. We can't really see them. We can spot them on radar. And all of these kind of air cells are just kind of, hitting each other, and they kind of happen to start spinning just a little bit. So looking at velocities here, this is where we look for tornadic rotation. So what you're going to see right here, or what we would want to see with tornado development, is a lot of green versus a lot of red. So you will see kind of around Lake Tanglewood, you're seeing this little bit right here of very, very broad rotation. This is not really extremely alarming as of right now. What you're seeing is that little bit of green, a little bit of red. There's some air kind of moving in different directions, but it's not tight enough that it signifies tornadic development. So because of that, that is that cell that did track south out of Amarillo. That's what was tornado warned. Of course, it was a little more pronounced at the time. But so far, very broad rotation, just kind of winds blowing some different directions. It's not tight enough or concise enough to really be tornadic type rotation. So right now, we're not really seeing anything alarming in terms of what we're seeing on velocities right now, but we are monitoring as this is a tornado warning. Like I said, nobody was really expecting this kind of development today. We always talk about our SPC outlooks. It ranges anywhere from marginal to a slight, moderate, enhanced, and high risks. Thunderstorm risk is actually technically not on the scale. It's the lowest risk. That's all we had for today, so there wasn't much of an anticipation. Our model data did signify the possibility of some light thunderstorms, of course, but this tornadic development is just everything just kind of hit just right, caused it to spin, and then it dropped down. So it wasn't like we were seeing this development of tornadic supercells around the area today. It's just the way everything happened to fall. So a little bit, trying to get everything sorted out, trying to get our bearings. What we're seeing out there, Amarillo is kind of on the far western side of it. We're seeing a cluster of cells up around Clayton, Du Bois City, basically focusing on the eastern, northeastern part of the area as of right now. So,
And I'm showing another report. Got a funnel cloud near the old hospital looking toward Amarillo Boulevard. It lifted and didn't actually touch down.
Okay, perfect. So you heard that from Tanner right there. There was another report of a funnel near the old hospital, kind of around the boulevard. So further into town, but no confirmation of anything touching the ground. And that's the National Weather Service getting a report of a funnel cloud. So we have not seen a picture evidence of that actually happening. Because sometimes with these storms, you get all these kind of low clouds. It can look like a funnel, but might not actually be. So that's going to be one of the things we really watch for, is any funnels actually dropping down. That's what prompted that tornado warning earlier. But the main thing to focus on right now, there is no tornado warning currently active. It expired. That tornadic threat has pretty well died down for the time being. But we're going to stay here. We're going to be breaking into broadcasting. I know there's golf on right now. We will be interrupting golf on TV if there's a tornado warning. We won't do our periodic updates. We know you guys want to watch your sports, so we're not going to interrupt that unless we absolutely have to. That's why we're here on stream, Facebook, YouTube, NewsChannel10.com. We'll be bringing you the latest here as this system starts to develop, so just be keeping a close eye. Keep it locked to News Channel 10, your first alert weather app, things like that. We're going to gather our thoughts here real quick. We'll be back with you guys here in just a little bit. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We'll be monitoring those, and we'll be getting back to you guys here in just a second. Just bear with us just for a moment.
Oh, hey Serge, how's it going?
Good. I got streams up and everything.
Yeah, got streams up.
Website, Facebook, YouTube.
I believe, yeah, we're definitely on Facebook. Would you
I
mind?
just want to make sure.
Yeah, would you mind checking if we're on YouTube as well and our website? All right, so yeah, Tanner Bramer here checking in one more time. Sheldon Brashears is currently working on getting some tower cams pulled up. So we just got word, it is an unofficial report, that's the key term, unofficial, that a little bit of a rotating wall cloud near, where was it?
West-southwest of Powder Canyon.
Okay, so that's about, I'm going to pull up velocity right here. So that's, okay. That's likely the same area Sheldon was talking about a little bit earlier, just an area of very broad rotation.
We're actually pulling up our Powder camera right now.
Yeah, so.
We'll get that up where we can look around. Seeing some rain in Powder Canyon currently.
Yeah, as of right now, I mean, very broad rotation. I don't think it's anything that would warrant a tornado warning, but we're going to keep a very sharp eye on it, just in case. Also, getting word that the severe thunderstorm warning, that does include the city of Amarillo, it's the one for Potter and Carson counties, will be expiring here in a few minutes.
Just expired, actually.
Okay, just got word it just expired. Okay, just saw the yellow polygon disappear there. So we're going to go back to single panel here. So yeah, this is what we're seeing as of right now. There is still a severe warning. This is over toward Howard, Wiccan, Clarendon. Clarendon currently seeing some heavy rain right now. I'm going to put this in motion for y'all. And you can see this stuff is basically just stationary right now. It's not really moving any one direction. Look over toward the east, though. It seems these cells are actually moving westward, which is a pretty rare for this part of the country. We don't see that a lot, of course. You know, these past 2 days have just been a meteorological anomaly. That's all it is to it. It's not really a tornadic environment. You know, tornado warning yesterday came out of nowhere. Tornado warning today really came out of nowhere. Good thing is no confirmed touchdowns in either warning, either yesterday or today. There was a lot of reports of a land spout. Everybody sending in a lot of the same land spout that formed. Yeah, it did some damage in Canyon as well. National Weather Service is still trying to get some reports on what exactly caused that damage, whether it was a land spout or a gustnado or maybe just straight line gusty winds, because it's a little bit hard to tell.
We'll pull this up real quick. This is where the bulk of that heavier storm is passing over right now. So
Yeah. So currently not seeing any rotation from this camera. Can we, if you pin it around, can we see anything?
So far, I mean, not really any pronounced storm structure there.
Okay, so that's good.
You can see some heavy rain in some places. But so this is from Powder Canyon. It was about south-southwest of this where that unconfirmed, like Tanner was saying, unconfirmed report of a rotating wall cloud was reported. So, of course, we're not going to get the best look of it from here. But as you can see, just some good heavy rain falling right now. Any severe thunderstorm warnings I've seen currently have been for around 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hails. So besides this, you know, kind of rogue tornado warning, this is kind of some very tame thunderstorms, very, very heavy rain. I mean, make no mistake. Yeah. You know, there is some very heavy rain with this.
Very slow moving as well.
On I-27 for sure, there was some water standing in roadways. So you don't want to, you know, we don't want to diminish that threat. But there was tornado warning, has been canceled. That's the good news right now. That's kind of our main thing we want to talk about. We got Cassandra here asking a question.
Is it coming back to Amarillo? So that's, I know this is the answer you probably don't want to hear. It's just hard to tell at this point. You know, this is a setup that we're not used to really at all. Here, I'll show you guys what the motion is like here. You can just see it kind of just to the east of Amarillo. It's just not really going anywhere. You know, some of it may be going southeast, some of it may be forming back into the city. In fact, you see some rain starting to reform on the eastern side of the city. So very weird storm motion, really, with this entire system over the weekend. Not really, it's like Sheldon was talking about, not really a favorable setup for tornadic activity. Maybe just a jump-the-gun tornado warning that was issued. Haley Cotton asking, are we okay to come out of shelter? Yes, you are good to come out for right now. Tornado warning is expired. Severe thunderstorm warning has expired. All that we have in Amarillo right now is a flash flood warning, so things are weakening as of right now, but still monitoring some more development over the course of the rest of the day. I'm not going to rule out maybe another tornado warning being issued just because, I mean, I'm sure you can agree with me here, this is really unpredictable for the entire weekend. Is that Lubbock saying anything? No, okay. Can we pull up Amarillo again, downtown?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and just cycle through here.
Okay. All right, so.
Oh, that's. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, still pretty ominous looking. This is what, looking southeast?
Yeah, that's looking
Eastish.
southeast right
Okay, yeah, so still pretty ominous looking. You can see the really heavy rain to the left of your screen there. That is the storm along Interstate 40, just to the east of Amarillo. But still seeing some pretty ominous looking clouds, still seeing some pretty heavy rain as well. Here, yeah, so still seeing some pretty heavy rain in the area as of right now. A few flash flood warnings. There's still one severe thunderstorm warning. That does not include the city of Amarillo. That is the good news, just going more toward Armstrong and Donley counties. You see the yellow polygon. How about radar back up real quick? See the yellow polygon right here. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. Maybe some small hail embedded within that storm, maybe some nickel to quarter-sized hail, especially in these areas of pink you see. Kind of right there, and right there. So some very heavy rain, obviously some gusty winds as well, up to, Sheldon was saying, 60 miles an hour, and some small to maybe moderate sized hail. And it is fairly stationary. It's also why we've got a lot of flash flood warnings across the area as of right now. Flash flood warning, that does include Canyon, Lake Tanglewood, and Amarillo, also including White Deer, Pampa, LaForce, Allen Reed, and Clarendon. So very heavy rain, fairly stationary storms as well. So probably going to dump some pretty heavy rain for an extended period of time. But again, no tornado warning.
Yes.
That is the good news. No severe thunderstorm warning for Amarillo as well. Somebody asking, what about Dumas? So Dumas, not under tornado warning for sure, and really not seeing all that much, seeing some very weak cells pop up just to the south of the city. And I'll put this in motion. All right, so it looks like in this area of the Panhandle, it looks like these cells are starting to move southeastward into more of this blob of rain right here. So Dumas, you might see some weak storms pop up here in the next maybe 30 to 45 minutes. May see some briefly gusty winds, but as of right now, nothing is severe warned. I hope that answers your question, Ashley.
Latest model data does kind of show this cluster right here, maybe pushing off towards the southwest just a little bit, but kind of fizzling out. Might be tracking another round of some thunderstorm activity going into the late overnight hours. It's going to be kind of overnight into early tomorrow morning, so we're going to monitor that. But in terms of this current cluster, like Tanner and I have been saying, like it's just the overall movement of it is very unusual. The thing about it is it doesn't really have any upper level support, so it should be fizzling out in just a little bit. It's one of those kind of storm systems that's probably going to rain very, very heavy and then kind of fizzle out a lot like last night's did, and then that'll probably be kind of the end of it after that.
Yeah, exactly. So we got somebody asking Pampa up to Canadian. So really, draw a circle. I'm assuming this is the area you're talking about. Nothing severe warned, mainly just some moderate rain. Maybe a couple flashes of lightning here and there, but really sub-severe as of right now. Maybe some slightly gusty winds as well. In fact, let me turn on the lightning feature here.
Go to the three bars on top. Yep. And then, oh, no. Yeah, and then click that right there. Sorry. Yeah.
Bingo. All right. There we go. Give you guys a better picture of what we're seeing. All right, so yeah, see lightning pop up, especially toward Fritch and Borger. But as far as Pampa and Canadian goes, not really all that much. Could hear a slight rumble of thunder here and there. That is about it. But like Sheldon was saying, as far as the rest of the day goes, this should, keyword should, dissipate, seeing that there's not really much upper level support. But then again, you know, we weren't supposed to see a severe outbreak at all today, so we're going to stay on. We're going to monitor this. We're going to keep you guys updated as well. Yesterday was a bit of an anomaly, and today as well. What were you going to say, Sheldon?
Yeah, I was about to just say, yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those, I mean, very much an anomaly for sure. Like I said, we have very low-end severe risks, but like I was saying, boundary collisions, that's kind of, you know, the main key is that you just have these invisible walls of air moving around. Yeah. They hit each other just right, they start to spin a little bit, and that's where you see those funnel clouds form, everything like that. They don't really spin quite tight enough to really touch down.
And that's likely what spurred the tornado warning yesterday as well. As the reason it was so hard to see on radar yesterday, in case you missed it, is because the area of potential rotation they were monitoring was right here, exactly where the radar is during the tornado warning. So it was very, very hard to tell by radar whether the rotation was very broad or very tight, or even if there was any rotation being picked up on radar at all. It was just to the east of the National Weather Service, or just to the east of the city of Amarillo, right at the National Weather Service office. So.
Yeah, and one other thing right here, we'll go ahead and bring up our downtown camera real quick, because right now, I mean, you can see right there, that is a very solid rain shaft. That is kind of looking off towards the southeast from downtown Amarillo. That is a very, very heavy core of rain right there. Not currently actively warned, so maybe you might see some pea-sized hail in it, but definitely, I mean, that is just a torrential downpour happening kind of on the kind of southeast side of Amarillo. In fact, we'll kind of try to zoom in a little bit, maybe see if we can't get a closer look here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're kind of on the southeast side, I mean, you're definitely, you know, seeing this here. We'll get our focus fixed up. Kind of looking there at I-40 and just south, you can see where that rain actually begins to start.
Yeah, so kind of see the trees become a little bit more
Yeah, extremely, you know,
translucent.
heavy heavy rain for sure. Could see some limited visibility. Localized flooding is going to be a heavy threat for sure. Just getting word from the National Weather Service that the severe thunderstorm warning for Armstrong and Donley counties is going to be continued for at least the next hour or so. 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail, which is about an inch across.
Yeah, no surprise there. Still packing a pretty good bit of a punch right in here. Well, crap. But yeah. Got a few more questions here on Facebook. Somebody asking, what about Hereford? Hereford, you're not really seeing much of anything right now. That is good news. You're getting a little bit of a break. Thank you, Sheldon. Getting a good bit of a break, and looking at the storm motion, it doesn't look like it's progressing all that far westward, but also watching the development right behind this bit of an outflow boundary. You can kind of see it right in front of this kind of line of storms that's forming.
Yeah.
Right there. So.
Got Kayla here asking if anybody drove from Amarillo to Canyon. I drove from Canyon to Amarillo just, I mean, about an hour ago, if that. And I saw that little band of showers you're seeing that are working their way south. Very, very heavy rains, limited visibility for sure. But as you can see right now, I mean, just about most of the stretch of I-27 from Amarillo to Canyon now mostly in the clear, so some very light showers that way. But definitely can anticipate some water standing in the roadways for sure, because it was very, very heavy rain. Very reminiscent. I mean, it almost was a rinse and repeat of yesterday evening, just a little bit earlier in the afternoon. Just heavy rains push through. There's going to be some strong straight line winds. Probably what we're seeing there moving through Canyon as of right now.
Yeah. I got a couple more here. South side of Pampa just got a bunch of rain. Yep, no surprise there. Good thing is it looks like just rain. No severe activity, maybe a couple flashes of lightning, a couple rumbles of thunder. That is about it. So, yeah. So, one more time, just got one severe warning in the area as of right now. That is for Armstrong and Donley counties. Mainly for some maybe quarter-sized hail, some very heavy rain. The storm is very stationary, so flash flooding is definitely a risk as well. It looks like it may be weakening an ever so slight bit, but it's very possible that it could intensify once again as well.
Definitely could intensify for sure, but this is one of those situations, I mean, very much, like I said, a repeat of yesterday where you see it come in, it strengthens, like it hits that boundary, it flares up, we see a quick tornado warning, a tornado warning dies off pretty quickly, and now we're just seeing these very heavy thunderstorms working their way through. This is looking to the south-southwest from Amarillo.
Yeah.
As you can see, some of those lower-level kind of storm structure right there can look pretty intense, without a doubt. But
yeah, this is looks like a bit of a line of storms that's looking toward Canyon, right?
Yes, yeah. That's
all right, yeah.
So
bit of a line of storms that's forming toward Canyon.
It's advancing its way south.
Yeah.
Right now. So if you are in Canyon, it does look like it may be lightening up here pretty soon. That heaviest bit is now moving south.
Yeah. So got somebody asking about Lake Tanglewood. It looks like you're in the clear as of right now, seeing that same line is starting to push south, but in the clear right now doesn't mean for the rest of the day. Could still see some development over the rest of the day today. I'll show you the motion one more time. Just some stuff all the way to the north, all the way to the east of you as well. Also, I do just want to mention Sheldon and Doppler Dave as well. Thank you for y'all's help today.
Hey, we are a weather team.
Yes.
That is what we are here for.
Yes.
That's the thing is, even though, like I said, this is, the weekend shows. I mean, this is Tanner's territory is the weekend edition, but we are a weather team. That means we all work together. And so when this, this weather pops up, even when we don't expect it, we all come together to bring it. I mean, that's the thing is our ultimate goal is to be talking to you guys, the viewers. We want to make sure you're aware of what's going on because, like you said, you see a tornado warning, your weather radio, your first alert weather app goes off. It freaks you out. It's a tornado warning. That's one of the things you want that to send up red flags for you. And so we're here to hopefully, calm any fears and just tell you exactly what's happening, what to expect, and where. So that's why we're here and that's why we're on right now.
Yeah, exactly. And one more thing I do want to mention, had some maybe reports yesterday, some people didn't get tornado warnings from their phones even though they had the KFDA weather app. You just may want to make sure that you do indeed have notifications on for that app because that is very important. Seeing that, if you have the KFDA weather app, if you have notifications on, any kind of severe warning, any kind of flash flood warning, especially any kind of tornado warning, it's going to come to you right then and there.
And they're going to be tailored for your location. So if, say, you live, just in like Carson County and that's a warning for Potter County, you're probably not going to get it to light up your phone.
Right.
Another big thing I did see a lot of people asking about yesterday is why they didn't hear sirens in Amarillo. I will say that one is outside of kind of our, like I said, we can come on TV, we can come on Facebook, your YouTube, wherever. We don't have the authority or the ability to be setting off any tornado sirens, so that is outside of our control. But we can, send those warnings to your First Alert weather app, things like that. And like I said, we'll be on TV, things of that sort. But when it comes to sirens, though, that is outside of our expertise.
What's that, the city of Amarillo, kind of?
That's kind of City of Amarillo, National Weather Service. They all kind of work in conjunction on that. So
I did hear them today, though.
Yes,
Yeah, they
we
were
did
firing
get
off today.
reports of some sirens going off for sure.
Yeah. So got a couple questions.
Somebody asking about North Amarillo.
Yeah, North Amarillo. So probably just seeing some light showers right now. Looks like that main line that we've been monitoring has pushed south of you, mainly just some maybe light to moderate rainfall, but a good bit of some thunderstorms up toward Fritch, up toward Sanford, Borger as well. And up toward Dumas. Dumas may be starting to see some heavier showers pop up just to the south of your town, all up along Highway 87.
Yeah, and to reiterate to anyone maybe just joining the stream, maybe you haven't heard all the latest updates. There's currently only one severe thunderstorm warning in the entire area, and that's Armstrong and Donley counties, right now rated for 60-mile-an-hour winds, and 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail, which is about an inch across. So only one severe thunderstorm warning. Now, that's not to say if you are seeing rain right now, it may not be severe. It's just not quite that severe criteria. So our main threats currently, we're really watching for heavy rains, maybe some pea-sized hail, and some strong straight-line winds.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sheldon, for that. And got a great question here. You guys want to listen when we answer this. Where is this? This is from Dana Majors. Where's the safest place in your house to seek shelter during a tornado warning? So if you're in a multi-level house, if you have a basement, that is fantastic. Go to your basement. If not, just go to your first floor, and whether you're in your first floor or your basement, go to the most interior room of whatever floor that you are on. Put as many walls between you and outside as possible. That will put you in the safest position as well. Also, make sure to wear sturdy shoes as well, because a lot of times, if a tornado does cause damage to your house, there's going to be a lot of debris just, spread around. So a lot of stuff that could maybe cut up your feet if you're not wearing sturdy shoes. So that is something important to remember as well. But yeah, lowest floor of your house, whether it's the basement or the first floor, and the most interior room as well.
And it's also a good time to remind you to kind of talk about some, if you did see the funnel cloud, I mean, we saw tons of pictures on Facebook yesterday of that funnel cloud or just some crazy storm structure. Head to our First Alert weather app or go to our website, newschannel10.com. There's a place there to send in your pictures and videos. Send us to them there.
Yeah.
If we get some downtime here in just a little bit, maybe we can go through some of those really crazy viewer pictures, but send them in. That way we can get them up on broadcast. We want to share your pictures. Looks like Charlie Ramos here asking about shelter in a mobile trailer. Tan, you want to tell him about that?
Yeah, so mobile trailer, that's a little bit tougher.
That's when you definitely want to get out of, for sure. I mean, that's when it's probably better to be getting down in a ditch.
Yeah, so
if there's nowhere else to go.
It kind of contradicts what our usual advice is to not be outside during a tornado, but if you're in a mobile trailer, that does provide a bit of a danger. So if you live anywhere near like an open field or somewhere, try to get to the lowest elevation of that field. A ditch would be fantastic, but if not, just an open area, not near any trees or anything. Just an open area to the lowest elevation, and that's going to be where you're safest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mobile homes are absolutely not safe at all in a tornado.
Yeah. Getting rain in Canyon, any tornado warning. No tornado warning as of right now, not even any severe thunderstorm warning for Canyon, mainly just some heavy rain. This line's starting to take shape. Actually, you can see it starting to form right up into near Bushland and over toward Vega as well, so we'll be monitoring that pretty closely, see if this forms a big line going southward across the Panhandle. We got Canyon, no tornado warning, no severe thunderstorm warning, just a flash flood warning, mainly due to some heavy rain that's staying pretty stationary. Still a good bit of lightning within that line of storms, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is you can kind of watch as that loop runs through. You kind of see this invisible little light blue line, and then right behind it is where all those storms fire up. That's one of those boundaries I was mentioning earlier. So it's invisible to the naked eye, but what we can see there on radar, you can follow that little light blue line, you're seeing those storms fire up right on the back side of it. So it's just these little invisible boundaries of air. That air hits it, it rises, we get these just all of a sudden just sudden and explosive thunderstorm growth. But that's all these storms are going to be forming up off of right now are these boundaries. There's nothing in the jet stream, there's nothing in the upper levels that's going to be keeping these storms going or keeping them fed as they track their way off. Clearly, what seems to be right now, maybe off towards the south-southwest.
Yeah, and I mean, you just see all these storms. It's just a bunch of miniature little boundaries that they're forming off of as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, that's the thing is these storms fire up, and when a storm dies down, it pushes all that air out of it, and that creates a boundary. So basically, it gives the fuel to the storm behind it to kind of pop up.
Right. All right. Starting to see some cellular activity pop up over toward Cimarron and maybe Union County as well. Right here, pretty sporadic as of right now. Nothing severe. Just looks like some brief heavy downpours. Stratford, you can expect to see that maybe move into your area here a little bit soon, but they look to be fairly stationary story the entire day. But yeah, keeping an eye on that as well. This rain does look to become a little bit more widespread. It's becoming a bit more widespread over the past maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Also watching some stuff over toward Oklahoma as well. But check a couple more comments. So a Tootin' Totem or Walmart or any buildings that you live by. Yeah, so assuming that the building is a little bit more sturdy than a mobile home, yeah, go to Walmart. I'd say probably the bathroom in Walmart or something.
I mean, probably for sure. I mean, that's the thing is if a tornado's bearing down on you, your best bet in that moment, don't try to run from it.
Yeah.
Hunker down in the ditch. But if you have time to get away, yeah, absolutely, a more sturdy building would be, a better situation. Give us just a moment. We're going to go stand by here in just a second. We'll get our stuff kind of sorted out here, and we'll be back in just a moment. So stay with us just a second. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, let's get rolling back on here. Taking a look. What we're seeing on radar, we're going to be pulling up some viewer submitted pictures and videos. Right now, what we're doing right now is we're kind of toning down a little bit. We're not going to stop our stream just yet. We're still continuing to monitor currently. But right now, we're just everything's kind of dying down a little bit. There's only one severe thunderstorm warning in the area, but we're not going to just completely drop off, because there could still be the potential of any rogue tornado warning. So we want to make sure we're here and ready for that when it does happen, if it does happen. Obviously not a guarantee that it will, so we're just going to be keeping a very close eye on it. But right now what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at some viewer submitted photos and videos here, kind of let you see what we've got out there. So this is a picture of that funnel. This is from yesterday, or actually no, this one might actually be today's, according to Elaine Baker. She does say that is June 4th. So this was that funnel cloud right there. She said she's just east of the airport right before it went back up. So Elaine Baker, thank you for submission on that. What we're seeing right here, this is a land spot east of airport. So it does appear to look a lot like yesterday's storm. This is courtesy of Randy Brooks. Keeping an eye on that. All of these probably here from the last 24, 48 hours. I don't think this is today's. It does look a lot like yesterday's. Seeing some of that strong structure right there. This is captured by Isaiah Contreras out in your Sundown Lane. Very stout structure. Some of these may be from today. This one right here appears to be from today from Isaiah Contreras. You can see some of that low kind of hanging clouds right there. We'll kind of zoom in just a little bit on it. If this computer wants to just kind of keep zooming out. There we go. Possibly. Okay. No, this computer program just really wants it to be zoomed out is what it is. We'll work with what we got. But seeing that lowering right there, not tornadic at the time. Bailey sent this in. Let's see what she's saying about this. This was sent in this afternoon. You can kind of see Not actually seeing a funnel cloud in this particular storm. You can see that really strong structure there along with it. Some of those, strong. That's that tornado warned storm by Christina Hernandez. This was sent in yesterday evening, so very neat stuff right there. So thank y'all for sending in those pictures. We'll be kind of monitoring that as we go throughout. But just kind of watching radar right now. That's what we're doing. We're kind of calming down a little bit. We wanted to hop on as fast as possible to let you guys know we are watching it. We are monitoring it. That tornado warning did sneak up on a lot of people, that is for sure. But the good news is the tornado warning has been expired. There is no current active tornado threat for Amarillo or anyone else from anyone else in the Texas Panhandle area. We got Rose here, or Emily asking about Happy. Does look like this line of storms is heading your direction right now. So we'll zoom in on Happy here. You can see that light blue line moving out in front. That's probably going to be some stout winds that hit first, and then you're going to see this line of thunderstorms right here. Not a severe warned storm. Going to be making its way in right now, expecting some very heavy rains, possibly some very strong straight line winds, small hail, and lots of thunder and lightning. So if you are in Happy, probably looking at that moving in here pretty quick. So we're going to be watching for that here pretty quickly moving into Happy. Let's see what else we've got. Some people asking about sending storm chasers outside of Canyon towards Hereford. Currently here in News Channel 10, we do not have any storm chase teams out right now. You've got me and Tanner holding things down in the studio. You've got Doppler Dave and Kevin Selly out giving us reports from the field if they see anything, but they're not actively out storm chasing as of right now. We're kind of having everybody on reserves, just kind of watching Amarillo as there's still some storms, kind of seeing some showers on the north side of the city right now. Heavy rain working its way off. You can kind of see right here. We'll actually watch this. So you kind of look at the shape of this. Let's kind of follow it. You can kind of see this really kind of long bow kind of shape to this storm as it advances through, as you can see right there. That's that outflow boundary, firing it all up. When you see those kind of bow out like that, that's a strong indicator of some very strong winds. Of course, that heavy rain is still going to be a part of it, but very strong winds. That's going to be something we see with those kind of what we call bow echoes. It's kind of bowing out. There's some strong winds behind it, but that doesn't really heighten the tornado risk very much. Looks like Tanner is getting ready for a cut-in here pretty soon, so we're going to get ready for that, and you'll see Tanner hop on here in just a quick moment, so stand by for that. All right, everyone. Sheldon Brashears here, dropping in with another quick update, real quick. Waiting for a gap in the PGA Tour to get Tanner on air. Of course, since there are no tornado warnings, we're not going to break into your typical. Programming. We'll do that if there's just absolutely something super urgent. Right now, no real new crazy updates. Things are really kind of ramping down. Let's see right here. Yeah, so kind of to recap here. So this is from the National Weather Service. This goes all the way back to 1:30. This goes back to 1:25 or so this afternoon. So this is not a current thing that's happening. This is kind of recapping what happened earlier. National Weather Service, they did get a report from an airport employee of a funnel cloud that was visible for several minutes. Never touched the ground, so it was never actually a tornado that touched the ground. It was just a funnel cloud that was seen from the airport tower there at the Rick Husband International Airport. It lifted. Tornado warning has been canceled. So where we're at right now, here's what we're seeing on radar currently. One severe thunderstorm warning in Armstrong and Donley counties down around Clarendon. If you're in the Canyon area, you are seeing, or Clarendon area rather, you are seeing some very, very heavy rain, seeing some lightning and thunder. We're still seeing this kind of bow move out from Canyon. You'll actually see this little line that kind of formed up right in between Vega and down to close to the Umbarger area. Probably got some very heavy rain headed towards the Umbarger region. But as you can see, this line of storm is just really not moving very much as of right now. Southwest side of the city of Amarillo seems to be clear. There's right around Bushland. We'll actually take a look at our Bushland camera, see what it sees as of right now. Looks like we're getting some raindrops on the lens. We'll try to get that camera online real fast. Try to get to where we can control it, if we can. All right, looks like we might be getting Tanner for a cut-in. So here we go. I think we might be got our gap, so just stand by for that. All right, everyone, drop it back in right here. Seeing what we're seeing on radar, looking just to the straight west of Amarillo, right around the Bushland area. As you can see, a very stout rain core right there. I mean, just right off in the distance. We'll try to zoom in on this. We do have some raindrops on the lens, so that might make it a little bit harder to see. But you can actually see where the rain in that lower visibility actually starts right there, just off in the distance. You can see those trucks on kind of the bottom right-hand corner of your screen are in the clear, while there's some very, very heavy rains. You can barely see that Love Stop neon sign there off in the distance. So very heavy rain just right to the west of Amarillo. That's east of Bushland as of right now. So some very heavy rains off that direction as this little cell just popped up in the last couple of frames on radar. We'll switch back to radar now, see what we're tracking out there. So you can see right here, we'll stop our little frame and take a look. Right there you see it. That's that little cell we were just looking at there on our Bushland camera. Just popped up. We'll watch our animation here through. You'll see that it just kind of pops up just right out of thin air. And then there it is. Very heavy rains falling just to the west of Amarillo. Seeing this little bow push out right here. We see somebody here, Addie, asking about Canyon. We'll zoom in on Canyon here. As you can see, it looks like you're on the northern side of it. This cell is moving very, very slowly, but it does appear to be moving southerly. So if you're on the north side of Canyon or in Canyon, you're probably seeing some light showers right now, but that heavier rain does appear to be coming to an end. As it moves south of you, that'll kind of put you in a clearing for the time being. But looking up in Amarillo, kind of on the eastern side right now, we're seeing some just scattered showers starting to build up on the back side of all of this. So we're going to be watching for that to possibly fill in and head towards Canyon. So we're going to have to watch that very, very closely. But we're seeing that rain continue to track towards Bushland. So we're going to take another look at that. There you see it. Here comes that very, very heavy rain. It does look like traffic moving a little bit slow there on I-40. From Amarillo, what we're seeing, they're looking off towards kind of the south. Nothing really too exciting there. We're just seeing some thunderstorm development. There's our Bushland cam one more time. Let's look up in Lake Meredith, what we're seeing out there. A little bit of rain showers. Like I said, this is just kind of reiterate. What we're doing right now is we're just kind of in this monitoring phase currently. We're not seeing anything too crazy out there where there's no tornado warnings. We do have flash flood warnings. That's about it. Looks like most other places are pretty quiet, at least for us. No new warnings from the Amarillo National Weather Service. We have flash flood warnings in Amarillo. No severe thunderstorm warnings in Amarillo. Like I said, the only one we have is this one over Armstrong and Donnelly counties. It expires in 40 minutes. Right now, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. That's about the lowest criteria you can have for a severe thunderstorm warning. Still, make no mistake, that could still cause some damage. Of course, some very heavy flooding rains are probably falling in Clarendon and Howard Wick right now, maybe heading in towards Headley. Looks appear to be filling in towards Headley and Lakeview, down towards the Memphis area, Sam Norwood and Shamrock, seeing some more showers. That's after they had a pretty active Friday evening there. But flash flood warnings, that's really the main focus we're seeing out there. Looking at satellite and radar, kind of up in the northwest, we're seeing some little pop-up showers right there. Northeast, we are seeing just some little light, little pop-up showers there. Everything now just barely moving south of the Amarillo and Canyon area here as we speak. Let's take a look, see what other questions people might be having that maybe we haven't gotten to yet. Yeah, doesn't really see anything new coming in. Like I said, really we are definitely, I mean, we're not going to be stopping our stream here right now, but we are going to be continuing to monitor. You're going to see us go off a little bit when you see it, go quiet, just a radar loop. Stay tuned with us. What we're doing is we're kind of gathering our spots off camera, making sure, you know, kind of seeing what's going on out there. You know, basically turning off our mics for the boring talk, you know, maybe that kind of stuff. Nothing really too exciting there, kind of monitoring things. What you'll see when we switch to that here in just a moment, you'll see a QR code up in the top left corner of your screen. You can go ahead and scan that with your smartphone. That'll get you your First Alert weather app. That's how you can get some of those warnings. So we're going to monitor some few things. We're going to go on standby mode here just right now. Stay with us. We'll be dropping back in here with updates. We won't just end our stream on you. We'll make sure and come on and close things up here as we're kind of wrapping things up. But not ending our stream just yet, just going into standby mode, so just stick with us here. Keep those questions coming in the comments. We'll get back to them here in just a moment.
Well, good evening. Tanner Bramer here with another update. Not seeing any tornado warnings in the area as of right now. Things are starting to ramp down a little bit. There was a tornado warning for Amarillo about an hour to an hour and a half ago that has long since expired. So we'll kind of take a tour around the area here. Zoom into Amarillo, just a flash flood warning for our city. The city of Amarillo not really seeing that much heavy rain, maybe some light showers. That is about it. Watching a line develop here just to our southeast. In fact, we'll kind of take a look right here. Umbarger just now starting to see some heavy rain. May see that heavy rain last for a good portion of some time. That's why a flash flood warning has been issued for Randall County. That does include Canyon and Palo Duro Canyon as well. Probably going to see some extensive period of heavy rainfall, not only there, but other places as well, including Clarendon and all places along the highway. Good night as well. A flash flood warning, also a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, the good news is this specific severe thunderstorm does look like it is weakening a little bit, but this has been issued for some penny-sized hail and some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Hopefully, we continue to see that weakening trend, but it is possible that it may intensify here over the next few minutes or so. Also, flash flood warning for a pretty good swath of some area, including Carson, Gray, and Roberts counties. That expires at 5:15. Currently just seeing some light showers in this area, not really much thunderstorm activity. Mainly a couple, or maybe a couple flashes of lightning here and there. That is about it, but we're going to take a zoom out one more time. Just kind of this general storm motion, very unusual for this part of the country. Not really a typical storm setup that we see, not really much upper level support, so things are going to be a little bit unpredictable over the course of the rest of the day. But here, us, the weather team, we're going to be monitoring very closely throughout the rest of the day and keeping you guys updated as well. We'll be posting on Facebook sporadically throughout the rest of the day and cutting in during commercial breaks as well. But for now, we're going to log off and let you get back to your regularly scheduled programming.
All right, everyone. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be kind of ramping down our coverage here on our stream as of right now. We are going to continue to monitor. Don't think that it's us just completely going away, but I will say the overall severe threat right now does appear to be diminishing. We are still seeing a cluster of thunderstorms in and around the area. We're still seeing that boat out storm now moving south of Canyon, so it does look like if you are in the Canyon area, maybe some light showers here as we're seeing maybe some light rain move through the east side of Amarillo. That cell we were tracking that popped up over I-40, you can see it strengthen, and now it's pretty well weakening and dying off. So that shows you just how weak that upper level support is. Cluster of thunderstorms, only one severe thunderstorm warning in the entire region right now, kind of in the Armstrong and Donley County areas. That is now for 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail, so even smaller than it was before. So the severe threat in terms of hail and perhaps winds and the tornadic threat are all kind of down right now. What we're expecting is just a lot of very heavy rain. Wellington, Shamrock, Wheeler, Briscoe, all seeing some very heavy rains as of right now down close to Turkey. We're just kind of seeing these gaps get filled in with just scattered shower activity around a lot of the region. This is a very active evening so far, but the tornado risk is really going down right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to kind of tone down our coverage here, at least on our stream. What you're going to be seeing from here on out is some extra coverage from Tanner. He's going to be our in-house Met today. He is going to be giving those occasional updates there, so keep an eye out for that. If there are any tornado warnings, expect a stream to pop up here on Facebook. We will be getting back on if anything does go crazy.
Yeah, no matter what, even if golf's on, if a tornado warning drops, not only for Amarillo, but for any city, we'll be cutting in during commercial break or not, but we will be cutting in no matter what for commercial breaks, keeping you guys updated maybe every 30 minutes or so. Also, keep an eye on News Channel 10's Facebook page. Probably for the rest of the day, I'll be posting kind of sporadic updates maybe every hour or so, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, so on, just keeping you guys updated throughout the rest of the day as well.
Yes, I mean, that's the thing is we're here, we're monitoring, we're watching for it, so we are anticipating, still some, heavy rain, some severe thunderstorms in parts of the region, tornadic threat, everything like that going down. Thing we want you to know currently, no tornado warnings in effect right now, but if any do pop up, we'll be here, we'll be ready for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to go ahead and end our stream for now, but we want y'all to come back. If there is any tornado warnings, expect cut-ins on TV, and of course, wherever you get our stream, that's going to be Facebook, YouTube, NewsChannel10.com, or our Roku or Apple TV apps. But in the meantime, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.